Okay, now, so thank you, Alexis. I hope you really started feeling what is your job. That it is simple in a way to understand, I guess, but it's a lot of work. So I'm going to start with a little game. This is the first one of the projects that Mark Zuckerberg did at Harvard. I don't know if you've seen the movie or just heard of it. It's a game where you have to choose between two girls and choose the one you think is the hotter. And I'm not going to have you choose the hottest website I'm going to show you, but I'm going to present you a few websites, and I want you to feel if you think it's hot, like what kind of emotion you have when you see this kind of website. So we'll pretend you want to learn to code. You know it's important today if you want to start a scalable startup. So let's pretend you're not a developer and you think, okay, I want to learn to code. So this is probably one of the best websites you're going to go to. They are a bit famous, Simplon. So this is the first page you're going to see when you go online on their website. So I'm not going to ask you one by one, but just tell me if you connect with it.
No.
You don't? Okay, how many? Okay, very few. So there is a story here. I won't tell you there is no story, but it's about, okay, it's difficult to read the text. Actually, it's probably a problem, yeah. You can't read very well. When you're on a website, you can see better, but it's really about a fabric. So it's an old word, fabric, like, okay, factory. They're talking about fabric social. So it's a certain kind of decision to make. Do I want to be part of a social experience? But they also use French tech and empowerment, which is kind of, you know, it makes you want to act. ESS, I have no idea what it means. Maybe one of you does. And you can, the picture is very large, so they want you to feel the energy of the photo, but you don't see much the people, and you kind of feel, okay, this is like not a kibbutz, but you can feel it's like it's going to be a very collective experience, and okay. So this is one of the websites. So this is a really different story. Born to Code, no, it's École 42. So interestingly, they didn't put their name on their website. But you can see 42 et vous up there. And there are really two sides. Okay, it is very gray, once again, not very cheerful. So, and Born to Code, you can feel they're on a mission. On the left part, if you can read, les emplois les plus passionnants et dont la France a besoin sont désormais numériques. I'm not going to read all of you, but it's really kind of the same. And it's really a corporate speech. And on the right, they want people to register, obviously. And it's a different kind of speech. Préinscris-toi. Tu envisages de devenir un 42 à la rentrée? Alors tente le coup et préinscris-toi. Sorry for them. No, but I can see a conflict here. They are targeting two kinds of people, and it can be problematic because when a young guy wants to learn to code, will he be drawn by that or by that? You don't know. Well, I think they are quite successful, but you can feel it's kind of a story. And this is a third example. It's Le Wagon. So they are showing you someone. Obviously, he's not a developer. He's more like a biz guy, but kind of cool. Okay. With his headset on, and I don't know if he listens to music or what. There is a group over there, so you can feel he's not alone. So you can start to feel what the experience of learning to code there is going to be. And I don't know for you, for me, it's really more powerful. I don't know if they are good. I don't know if I will learn very well to code there. But I know that it's my personal view. I feel more comfortable seeing, kind of experiencing what it's going to be when I see someone like me. Okay, this is the first example. A second example is, let's say you're looking for an accelerator. So once again, it's an example for an entrepreneur. So which one are you going to choose? So this is the first example. Okay, just a few elements. So
you can't read the name.
Yeah, it's no. there is no name.
Up there. Up there.
Yeah, but it isn't the name of the accelerator, it's Le Camping. So if you don't know that Numa is the place where Le Camping is hosted, I can feel that you're kind of lost. But maybe they feel they are already so well known that they don't need to put their name on, but it's a story. And Le Camping is only exemplified by this tent over there. And so the feeling that they want you to have, obviously, is that it's going to be kind of cool. There are more developers to me than these guys. So once again, it's a certain type of audience. And they are talking about growing your passion. Personally, I don't feel the passion in the, in the photograph. I am drawn personally to the logo over there. I don't know if you see them, but when you're on the website, you can really see them because they match the color with the tent. It's SNCF and Île-de-France. So once again, it tells you something about what the experience is going to be if you go there. This is a very well-known founder institute. I don't know if any of you know them. Yeah, you do. So this is their website. Do you connect? So actually, it's I took the screenshot a few days ago. So it's what you see first is the blog post actually, because it's a blog. On the right, you can see the founder, not the founders, the mentors, because their really value proposition is to connect you with mentors around the world. But it's like kind of greenish, so it feels like it's an environmental. To me, it's like it feels like an environmental institution with the leaf. But obviously, they wanted to say you're going to grow with them. So I was so surprised that I looked again, and I found another website. So it's a problem because they have two websites. And the first one I found was the other one, but they changed the address, and it's phi.co. And so I think it's a better story now. And it's also telling about passion, like Le Camping. So you can feel that, okay, this is kind of the same story. Is it a good idea to use the same words? I'm not sure. Okay, and you can feel that you're going to have fun with other people. That's another story, l'accelerator. But it's very powerful, actually, if you feel like you are kind of these guys, that you want to talk to them and about your startup. You are at the right place. They're not lying to you. And there's not much word. Just a quick mention, they're using funding and nurturing successful entrepreneurs. So they're focused about your success. But interestingly, these guys also use the word nurture. So it's a basic word in the accelerator ecosystem. But you can feel it's a totally different story. The pirate symbol. A great entrepreneur comes from anywhere, or can come from anywhere. It's time to leverage dark matter. So, and they're all offering kind of the same thing in the end. You're going to go to an accelerator, you're a startup, you are with a lot of people, but they're not telling you the same kind of thing. So you might think that storytelling is not for you right now if you haven't found exactly what you're going to do, or if it's the right thing to do. But I just wanted to mention that this is the first website of Facebook, and I think it's very compelling already. For the word they use, welcome to the Facebook. They want you to feel at home, and actually it's even more powerful on the second phrase. We have opened up the Facebook for popular conception at Harvard University. And what it tells you is that this is not the institutional part of Harvard. This is the real people part. So if you are proud of being a Harvard student, but you want to connect with the real guys, it's there. And they explain very clearly what you're going to do. And also they use this picture on the upper left. Do you know who it is? It's Al Pacino. Wow. In Scarface. So it's not very obvious. I didn't know. I learned it while reading about it. But it also tells you something about kind of the naughtiness they want to have. When you will start to work on your storytelling, actually there are kind of two kinds of story you're going to craft. First, it's your core story. It's the basic story, like the pitch, sort of, but it's who you are, your brand identity. And it's made of two things. The first one is your purpose, your reason for being, why you are doing this. And the other one is your personality. And the example I'm going to give you a bit later really exemplifies how personality is important. I feel that, for instance, the Founder Institute doesn't have a very strong personality. They forgot to have a personality. They just present you facts. Okay, I'm an accelerator. I'm going to help you grow. But the family, they wanted to have a kind of a pirate personality, and they choose a strong personality. And if you feel that you connect to this kind of personality, well, you are at the right place. And they both have to connect with, of course, your audience. And then you're going to craft little stories based on this one. So it's going to be your about section, it's going to be your Facebook profile, it's going to be a press release, it's going to be a video, and they all have to be consistent with the core story that you created. So this is a case study. Do you know Warby Parker? Yeah? Okay. So it's a very successful startup in the US. They sell glasses online, basically. And how did they do to be so successful? So this is their website today. This is very sleek. There is not much text on it. You can see that they talk to you about style. It's very simple, so you can feel the simplicity they want to offer you. You can choose men, women, locations, because now they have stores. Our story and blog, and not much else. I don't know if you feel it, but they are not the typical model you would find on an eyewear website. They're not like extra smiling or being like a very cold model, like I'm super sexy and I know it. They are very comfortable. The glasses are not so, yes?
Does it have something to do with their identity that they are both black? Or
No, because
coincidence?
I think it's not a coincidence. It's yeah, I think it's a choice, especially in the US, to put black people. I don't know if it's that common, but actually this is a carousel. So the first two pictures are white people, and the third one are black. So this is their first website, the original one. And what is interesting is that, okay, you can feel that the same kind of personality on the photo. There emphasizes two things that disappeared in the last version. The price. You cannot see the price on the website right now. And it was a very strong part of their value proposition because they sell glass online but cheap. $95. And there was another very important claim for them. It was their mission. And it's written over there, buy a pair, give a pair. And it's like Tom's Shoes. I don't know if you know this brand. It's a US brand too. Basically, if you buy a pair at Warby Parker, they will give a pair to a needy person for free. And this disappeared later. So why did it disappear? Maybe because not that many people care about the mission. So it's still there. One of the pictures of the carousel is still about the mission. But it's not the first thing they want to put. And I think sometimes I've seen many websites of starting entrepreneurs, and we feel that the mission is really important to display because that's why we do it, etc. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it important for my audience? It's important for me, okay, but will my audience connect with this thing? So this is their mission statement. They put it just in the Our Story section. So I'm going to read briefly the beginning. So Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and a lofty objective to offer designer eyewear at a revolutionary price while leading the way for socially conscious businesses. What is interesting here is that they use very specific words. They use a rebellious spirit. To me, it makes me think of James Dean rather than Che Guevara. So, and I mean, I think it's on purpose. They want to be a rebellious, kind of like the Apple spirit, like think different. We're rebellious. And a lofty objective, lofty in French means élevé, ambitieux, noble, presque. And it's a very literary word. It's not a very simple word. And it's really on purpose. So they want to offer designer eyewear. And then the value proposition is very clear. And then they tell their story. Every idea starts with a problem. Ours was simple. Glasses are too expensive. We were students when one of us lost his glasses on a backpacking trip. The cost of replacing them was so high that he spent the first semester of grad school with them, squinting and complaining. So they're really it's all storytelling. And I think there is always a balance in what they do between simplicity and very literary kind of vocabulary. So squinting and complaining, it was not like just complaining with squinting, which is really gives nuances. We don't recommend this, so they're trying to be funny. The rest of us had similar experiences, so they are a group.
In fact, it's to avoid lawsuit.
To avoid lawsuit, that we don't recommend this? Yeah, maybe in the US it's important to just reaffirm that you don't recommend this at home. The rest of us had similar experiences, and we were amazed at how hard it was to find a pair of great frames that didn't leave our wallets bare. Where were the options? So you are embarked in their story, and you are asking yourself, yeah, I was like that once, and what is my option? It turns out there was a very simple explanation. The eyewear industry is dominated by a single company that has been able to keep prices artificially high while reaping huge profits from consumers who have no other options. So here's the villain, the bad guy.
Of eyewear.
Sorry?
It's the Linux of eyewear.
The Linux, yeah, I'm not familiar with that, so I won't argue, but probably. So we started Warby Parker to create an alternative. So we are rebelling against the system. We're not just selling our eyewear. So this is one of the founders, and he just put it very simply. We are trying to solve the issue of glasses being too expensive. But as you will see, he has a French competitor, and they are trying to solve the exact same problem, but you will see how differently they do it. So if I go back to the story elements, you have this hero is anyone who cannot do anything without glasses and is kicked in the stomach every time he enters a store to buy a pair because it's so expensive. And so the villain is the eyewear industry, and the fear of this hero is that he will lose or break his unique pair. And his hope is that he will be able to look good with glasses. And I think that in the eyewear industry, I don't know how many of you wear glasses, but it's important for people to look good. And they don't forget that. They're not just, they really understand the audience internally. So Forbes, one of the first articles they had was in Forbes, and the Forbes journalist was explaining what they do, and they put it exactly how Warby Parker wanted it to be put. Glasses with a distinct design, priced affordably, and with a great website and showroom experience. Then they gathered, the three co-founders, and they thought, okay, how are we going to be a unique brand? They were looking for their uniqueness. And one of the debates they had was, are we collegiate or are we preppy? Collegiate means that you are part of the university on a very institutional mode, like you're just a student. And preppy means you're a rich student who can look preppy. So that was their first definition. And then they did a mood board, so you can do the same at home. I recommend this. And they really liked it. They were drawn by the image in the middle. It's called blue-footed booby bird. It's a bird in the Galapagos Islands. And so they thought, yes, this is really us. So why is it us? Because it's a curious bird, and we want to be a curious brand. If you know that this bird, you are knowledgeable, so you like to learn, and that's what we want to be. You are worldly because you're interested of what's going on outside the US. You are kind of sophisticated because the bird made them think of the tuxedo, like the penguin. So yeah, it's not like a cheap bird, it's sophisticated. And it's kind of funny because he had this blue feet. And when they chose their name, it adds another layer. This is Jack Kerouac, and Warby Parker is a character in one of his novels. It's not well known at all, but they knew it and they thought it's a great name. And it's a great name because, once again, it's out of a novel, so we want to be a literary brand. And it's kind of wild, it's a Beat generation. And it's kind of vintage. If you go on their website, you will see they are really a vintage kind of glasses. So their brand is not, we are an online eyewear website that sells cheap glasses. We are a curious brand that's all about learning. So they have a strong personality. And if you want people to connect with your brand, you have to find this personality. And the more precise it is, the more richness you can bring to this personality, the more people will connect because they will feel they are talking to someone. Not like an entity, but like another person. So I'm not going back on the name, but just as you know, they thought, okay, Warby Parker is kind of weird, so we are going to test it with 200 friends. And just ask, what is your gut reaction to it? Is it positive, neutral, or negative? I like the neutral part because if you don't like it and you're a friend, you can say neutral, not negative. But it was very positive overall. And do you think of anything else when you hear Warby Parker? And most of the people didn't think of anything. And it was very positive for them. They thought, okay, we can build this character with Warby Parker. They're not going to think, okay, but this is also this, etc. So this is the mission. As I told you, it's just the fourth photo of the carousel. So it's important for them. They continue to use it, but it's not the center of the offer. And when you scroll on the website, it's just the last part of it. For every pair purchased, a pair is distributed to someone in need. So their MVP was just the glasses. They made the glasses with the manufacturer, the website, and they hired a PR firm to launch it. So now I'm going to present you just briefly 3 stories they created out of this core story. This is a small piece of paper they put in the box when they send the glasses to their customer. And you can read that. Your small act of being fashionable and frugal didn't just help your wallet and style. It also helped someone gain the ability, so you're a hero helping someone else, gain the ability to read the ingredients to their grandmother's recipe. It helped a child learn to solve a math problem. It enabled someone the ability to recite the written past. Your big act changed someone's life. Thank you. It makes me cry. So it's really exemplifies what you can do with very little stories. So it's really nothing. It's just a piece of paper. I bet they took some time to write it correctly, but they're telling a story, and I bet that the customer, when he receives that, he's really proud of having purchased a glass there, and he's going to tell his friends, and that's what you want to do. You want to start word of mouth. This is another story. This is their store. And they decided to put books on shelves. And I don't know how many eyewear stores you visited and how many of them had books on their shelves. But it's part of the personality. They're not like anybody else. So they did it. And this is another example. They decided to make a tour on the US colleges, and they used a school bus because they're all about learning. So I found an interview of this guy, and he was telling that every time he tries to craft the stories, he asks himself, is it authentic? So is it really us, or is it something hype that everybody does, so I'm going to do it also? Is it really me? Does it tell a compelling story? Does it do good in the world because we want to do good, we have a mission? And is it unexpected because you want people to tell their friends at dinner? So you might think it was obvious to do an eyewear startup showing nice people with eyeglasses and telling it's cheap and you are going to do good to the world. But this is what their French counterpart did in France. I don't know if you know their... do you know the name of a French competitor selling eyewear online? Sorry? Si?
Direct Optic?
No. Direct Optic, no. It's Sensi. It was founded by Marc Simoncini, one of the founders of Mythic. And this is the way he presents his brand to the world. Do you connect? So it's a choice. Why not? I don't know if he's successful. Maybe he is. I'm not telling you that if you don't do storytelling, you're going to be absolutely no successful. But my guess is that if there is another French competitor that arrives one day and tell people, okay, I'm going to be more cheap than Sensi, do you think people will say, oh no, I love Sensi. No, I'm never going to quit this brand because I love it so much. And this is also one of the goals that you're trying to reach when you do storytelling. You want to connect with people because you want them to feel for you. And to connect with you in the sense that they will remember you, they will talk to you about you to their friends, and they will be like fanatics, they will adore you. That's what brands like IKEA, Nike, Apple, Coke does every day. That's why they tell their stories, because they want people to be addicted to them and be great sellers for them. So usually great brand storytellers, they have a unique personality. So as I told you, they're really unique and they're like a person. They are a clear sense of purpose. They know why they do it. They create their own world. They are credible when they say something, and then create a desire to hear what they will do next. So, as Nike puts it, find your greatness. And for that, you have to really be authentic whenever you do something, not try to copy anyone else. You really have to focus on your audience rather than on yourself. Think about what they need, what are their hopes, what are their fears, how can I help? And don't forget the facts, don't just put the mission, but use a story to tell your facts. That's your goal. So if you want to practice at home, I will give you 3 exercises that are really good to start from. So the first one is really simple. You can analyze your competitor's website, or if you don't have really strong competitors, you can identify people that are in the same ecosystem. Look at the website and look what the story they'll tell. So you will start to think in terms of storytelling and really identifies what is unique about your story. Then you can do this exercise that Warby Parker did, to do a list of adjectives, thinking of your brand as a person. As a brand, am I like witty or smart or intelligent? There are 3 words that are pretty close, but there are really nuances in these words. And the more precise you are, the better. Even though you can start being really broad. You can start writing like 50 words and then eliminate. It's easier this way. Or if you feel like it, you can use a mood board and just pick images and feel, okay, this is really an image of me, and it can help you also define who you are from an emotional standpoint. And this is another exercise that I found in this great book called Story Wars by Jonah Sachs. He's the storyteller too. And it's there to help you define your audience as a hero. Who is my brand hero? So you can use a fictitious character that you know, like a TV character or a novel character, like Warby Parker was in a novel. It has to be very precise. It can be also a real person, like a friend, a grandmother, that really, when you look at this person, you feel, okay, this is exactly the kind of person I want to reach. And then you write down how he or she looks like. You will tell a story. This is a woman. She's 50 years old. She works as an analyst at Accenture. She works very late at night. She's looking for love but hasn't found it yet. She earns a lot of money but cannot spend it because she has no time. Okay, this is the lifestyle, how she looks like, and her inner self. And obviously you want to reach to her or his fears, what is difficult for him or her. And then you imagine that this hero writes a letter to a friend or a family member. You really write it down. It can be 3 pages if you want. And this hero, so your audience, target audience, is going to first explain, to describe how crappy or disappointing the world is. He so feels it could be different. So obviously you're going to focus on the problem you're trying to solve. And then at the end of the letter, the more he writes, the more he tells about his hopes. Oh, I wish so much I could win the Nobel Prize, or I could afford a car, or whatever. And then you describe very precisely what are his wishes and why he can't achieve them. And then it's a really good starting point to imagine who you're going to address. Because we did this workshop with Alexis yesterday with a few startups. And sometimes the problem is that, yes, you want to connect with your audience, but you don't know, you have so many targets. It could be him, it could be her, but it's not going to help you do storytelling if you don't focus on one kind of person. You have to choose, you have to make a choice. And then you will be more sincere when you speak to this person because you know who you are talking to. Okay, thanks again, and have a good evening.